Hello, my name is David Ruben. Thank you for taking the time to visit my website. In this video, I'm going to talk about what factors does a judge look at when determining whether or not there should be a monetary award, whether or not there should be what we call equitable division. Similar to the alimony factors, which I talk about in another video, the monetary award factors are 10 or 11 factors, and also whatever else the judge thinks might be important in any particular case. But it starts with the basics. How long have these two people been married? What is their work history? How much money do they make? What assets do they have? Does one party have assets that is called non-marital property? I'll take a minute here to explain that. Non-marital property is property acquired before the marriage. Perhaps it was a pension that you acquired before the marriage. Well, the other party's not going to get any of that money. Property acquired by inheritance, that's called non-marital property, not subject to equitable division. Property by gift from a third party, family member gives you money during the marriage, it's non-marital property. The other person can't get a part of that money. Or property that is what we call traced to a non-marital source. I had $100,000 in my 401k before the marriage, and during the marriage, it grew. I didn't put any more money in, it just grew. Well, that would be a traceable non-marital source, and the other person's not going to get any of that. There are some other exceptions as well, but when we talk, if we talk, we can talk about those and figure it out. For example, like in a car accident case or pain and suffering, things like that. But the court looks at, when they're determining what's fair, they only divide marital property, that is the property acquired during the marriage and not subject to one of those other four things I just talked about, and they divide that property equitably. They look at all sources, though. Here's an example of why this might come into play. I want to divide my property equally. We have a $50,000 401k. Say I represent the wife, and I don't want to give $25,000 to the other. It's marital property. It was acquired during the marriage, but the husband just got $1 million in inheritance. Would it be fair for the wife to give the husband half of what she has when it's so far less than what he has? No, it probably wouldn't. So it's not an automatic 50-50. And in that situation, the fact that he had those non-marital property did come into play. So not only is it non-marital property, but it is relevant to the determination. The court also looks at, for the monetary award to determine what's equitable, the age of the parties, the health of the parties. They look at also, as in alimony, cause of the breakup. It doesn't have anything to do with grounds for divorce, but if one person can say, hey, you caused the breakup, does that mean you don't get half the property or the marital property we're dividing? Sometimes. That's up to a judge. But remember, again, just like alimony, cause of the breakup, and usually both parties have their sides of the story, but if it's clear one side, a judge can say, you know what, you're the one that caused the breakup, so I'm not giving you any portion of that marital property. The judge has that discretion. Usually they don't do that. They take it along with all the other factors, age, work history, all the other things that are important, and they come out with what they think is a fair solution. But when you come into the office, we sit down and we talk. We get a list of all the property that you've acquired during the marriage, all the property that might be non-marital property. We look at your facts, compare them to the factors that a judge might look at, and we say, or I'll say to you, based on my experience, 25 years experience, I say to you, this is what I think is going to happen. May not happen because all judges are different on different days in different places and different courts. But based on experience, we say this is what is probably going to happen. So let's see if we can work this case out without spending a fortune on attorney's fees. But if we can't, we'll go to court, we'll fight like heck and do everything we can to get you what you believe is fair, and ultimately it'll be in the hands of a judge. So that's the monetary award and the factors that the judge will have to look at. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call, shoot me an email, set up a consultation. I'll be happy to meet with you at any time. All consultations are free. We're here to help, and if you need representation, we're certainly looking forward to doing that because that's what we do.